Now, if you ever wanted to see Harvey Keitel dance around showing his dong in 2160p resolution, I mean, who doesn't? Then you're in luck. Now, Bad Lieutenant has been one of those movies that has just never truly received the proper treatment on home media. The last Blu-ray release that was from Lionsgate, this one right here, which I believe was released back in 2010. From what I've gathered from doing research on this video, the Blu-ray was an HD upsample from the SD master that was also used for the DVD. And it definitely had its fair share of problems. But it was also the best the film has ever looked on home media. In fact, I didn't think we would ever get something better than this Blu-ray right here. Until now. Kino Lorber has once again come to the rescue, releasing Bad Influence on 4K UHD with a 4K restoration from the original camera negative, forming a native 4K DI with HDR10 and Dolby Vision grading, and the approved theatrical ratio of 1:85:1, when I discovered the previous Blu-ray was framed wrong at 1:78:1. Also, for those out there wondering, yes, the included Blu-ray in this is also remastered using the same 4K restoration, so you get all the improved colors and clarity just in 1080p and without HDR10 or Dolby Vision grading. Alright, so it's that time. Let's take a closer look at the 4K UHD and see if Bad Lieutenant on 4K is worthy upgrading from your previous Blu-ray. Right from the opening titles, all the dirt, and I'm not sure if you can see it here with the images, but yellow splotches, debris has been cleaned up, only leaving anomalies that was inherited from the original negative, which I'll get more into soon, but right now I just have to talk about the color reproduction. The first area I noticed was the Blu-ray carried a slight pinkish hue to the image. Some areas it's barely noticeable, while other areas it's very noticeable. More so within the whites and also skin tones. These are a few examples here where you can obviously see the pink hue on the Blu-ray. My only conclusion is that maybe the studio thought that adding this pink hue gave warmth to the image for the SD master, which was later upscaled to the HD master for the Blu-ray and was just never corrected on the Blu-ray. Along with a flat and soft looking image, which also makes this pink hue look even worse in certain scenes. Especially when you compare the two formats, it really stands out. Now we have a color grading that looks much more appropriate and accurate based on Abel Ferrez and his DP's color design based from the original camera negative, where the image, colors, skin tones looks much more naturally warm now and not forced with an artificial pink hue to it. And really that's the biggest improvement here with the color reproduction. And this also goes for the remastered Blu-ray as well. On the 4K disc with the HDR10 and Dolby Vision grading applied, it really opens up the color gamut wider, enhancing all the colors that are already there, with some outstanding looking primaries, from vibrant cherry reds to deeper crimson blood reds, looking more lifelike and natural. Blues and yellows are also a nice standout here, with cooler looking blues and more active yellows. But it's definitely the reds and the blues that is a highlight here on the 4K. Saturation is increased, injecting some really nice punch and vividness into the image without it looking overly saturated or too hot. Contrast is also on point here. That really helps with daylight scenes, having a more natural, brighter look to it, but also with all the night and darkly lit scenes giving a deeper, more authentic appearance. And highlights are really impressive here on this 4K with headlights, police lights, signs, backgrounds with windows, looking natural now, unlike the Blu-ray that carried a lot of hot spots or blown out areas. The Blu-ray was just a mess with the black levels, from bright blacks to blacks crushing out details, even to some noise in black levels, and weaker shadows. And I definitely noticed this a lot more when I compare the two formats. The 4K now has deeper, inky, truer blacks and richer, velvety shadows that just brings the night and dark scenes back to life, and to a whole new level the Blu-ray just did not have, including revealing extra little finer details, even some little hints of splashes of color that was hidden within the crush of the Blu-ray. And also the black levels look more stabilized. A really nice reference point here, especially when comparing the previous Blu-ray to the 4K, is just the overall image quality. But one major improvement that I noticed, the Blu-ray carried a lot of instability. The 4K, while the instability isn't 100% gone, the image looks much tighter now. And the handheld and Steadicam work feels more fluid looking. The higher 2160p resolution lends more finer lines in the image, giving some fantastic clarity and sharpness, or as sharp as it could look, from all the tight close-ups to wide shots. And we also have some much needed depth and three-dimensionality, giving a much more lifelike quality than I've ever seen it before, and definitely leaps and bounds over the Blu-ray that had a very soft and flat looking image that really showcases the cinematography. The bitrate hangs around the mid-80s to the lower 90s, and the grain level is fully intact here, giving us some nice natural 35mm grain field that we all love to see. Alright, now let's take a look at the audio presentation with this 4K release of Bad Lieutenant. The Blu-ray only carried a DTS stereo track. This new scan on the remastered Blu-ray and the 4K UHD offers a new DTS 5.1 track that fully expands the film's experience. Now, even though the film is definitely much more front-end heavy, we still get some fantastic surround sound with some really nice movement and object placement between the rear and front channels. Honestly, it's not the greatest, it's not the best sounding 5.1 track out there, but it's definitely a nice leap over the dated stereo track. Dialogue is also rendered perfectly clear and crisp. Alright, so my overall score for Keanu Lorber's 4K UHD presentation of Bad Lieutenant, I'm giving this one a 5 out of a 5 for video and audio. This is definitely one to upgrade from your Blu-ray, or if you don't already own Bad Lieutenant, definitely add this one to your collection. But now here's the real test, because I want to hear from you out there. Head over to the comment section and let me know, when you compare the two formats, which do you like better? The 4K UHD or the Blu-ray? Or do you see any difference at all? Head over to the comment section and let me know. Alright guys, well thanks so much for hanging out with me for a few minutes here as we talk about Bad Lieutenant on 4K and comparing it to the Blu-ray. As always, keep physical media alive and remember to stay tuned for another 4K versus Blu-ray comparison. We'll see you next time.